Okay, hi guys. My name's Tori. I had a ton of requests to show how to repair the leg elastics in diapers. I'll also be showing how to repair the back waistband. I'll be working with a Bum Genius pocket diaper. I have no idea what make or model. I know there's like 4.0s and whatever. I have no idea what this is. It was gifted to me. I have never used it. I'm gonna make this really quick. I'm not gonna do a whole long big intro other than, hi, my name's Tori. I have 2 kids and I cloth diaper because of the pandemic. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna need is 1/4 inch braided elastic. Braided elastic. You can't use some people say that you can use even hair ties. You really want to use braided elastic though. It's stronger. Unfortunately, right now it's kind of impossible to find because everyone's buying it to make masks. But 1/4 inch, that's the width from top to bottom here. The width is 1/4 inch braided elastic. You're gonna need, for this Bum Genius, you're gonna need 3 pieces. I also have Alvas. I replaced an Alva yesterday. Alvas, however, they have a elastic band on the PUL and on the pocket. Therefore, you would need 4 pieces for an Alva. We're going to be working on this Bum Genius today, though, because the Alvas kind of got messed up by the previous owner. And they are a little more in-depth and difficult to fix. So the first thing you're going to do is turn it inside out. You want it to be as flat as possible, so even the little wings you want to be flipped as far out as possible. Instead of still folded in like this, you want to try to get it poking out like that. Usually not very difficult. Some of them are pretty stubborn, some of them don't want to come out. But in order to sew on it, it needs to be as flat as possible, like this. You want to do the same thing up with the waistband wings. Now the waistband wings absolutely do not like to, on this particular diaper, this is about as far as they come out. And they tend to disappear back inside from what I've noticed so far, so I keep having to flip it in and out. But you want it to look like this. Okay, so first thing you're gonna do, I've already started. I had taped an old video. It ended up like the intro was 12 minutes long. I hated it, so we're redoing it. So the first thing you want to do is find the elastic. We'll look at this side. So on this one, you can see here that there is a little bit of elastic poking out right there. So that's great. That's the beginning of the leg casing. So you're gonna need a seam ripper. Looks like this. Very, very sharp. Sorry, my son's watching Baby Bum and he's learning about shapes and he likes to repeat everything right now. So I also have a 3-month-old that's in a swing right next to me, so you might hear some background noises, some kiddo noises. I apologize if you do. Also, my son likes to come and look out these windows and scream at the cows, so if that happens, I apologize in advance. Okay, so I'm going to start here where we found this elastic, and I'm going to begin to rip the seams. I've already done that on this side, so I'll probably start the tutorial over here, but I will just give you a quick little example of how to rip seams. So you want to hold the 2 pieces. This is obviously the outer shell of the diaper. This is the lining of the pocket. So you're going to hold the 2 pieces, and this is the seam right here that you're ripping. You don't need to rip very much of it. You really only need between 3/4 of an inch to an inch. I find that about an inch is about perfect enough room for me to work. I have pretty large hands. I'm 6 foot. I have pretty large hands, so it's the more room I have to work, the easier typically. I find about an inch is perfect. So you're going to take your seam ripper here, and right here is the first seam. It's probably not going to focus, but right here is the first seam. So you just stick your seam ripper down there behind it. A lot of people do 3 or 4 seams at a time. PUL is extremely delicate. If it tears, it won't stop. It will just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow until you start with a little poke and you end up with a whole tear at some point. PUL is very delicate. It is also what makes the diaper waterproof if you don't know that. So you want to be very careful with your PUL. So you may not be able to see, but I'll try to keep it on the camera. I also want to do a little side note. I am legally blind. I wear correction, but they're very, very old. And they're broken thanks to my child, and they're extremely scratched up. And the anti-scratch coating is coming off, so it's very difficult to see out of them. So I typically don't wear them if I'm doing something very small related like this, because it ends up just becoming one big blurry mass because of how old the glasses are. So if I make funny faces, if I squint, I apologize, that's why. So that's what you do. You just take your little seam ripper, and you want this sharp part down here. You just stick it behind the seam. Some people do 3 or 4 seams at a time. I do not, because I don't want to risk tearing my PUL. I do 1 seam at a time. It's very time consuming. But I would rather spend 12 minutes ripping seams than 2 minutes and rip my PUL. So that's just what you do. You just like that. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. Now, on this side, I've already ripped the seams. I've already removed one side of the elastic. I just stuck a safety pin on there so it doesn't fall down into the leg casing and get lost forever. Because my luck, this side would then pop off and I would never be able to get a hold of it again without opening the entire leg casing. I don't want to do that. So you can see here, the elastic's very thin, very, very used, as opposed to, even when I stretch this, it's not see-through like this one is. So it's way past time for these to be replaced. So you can see almost, if it will focus, and this is where the elastic is attached to the diaper, and someone, instead of removing the elastic, just cut it off and attached the new elastic to the old elastic. You don't want to do that. You want to remove as much of the elastic as possible. Now on this other side, the elastic was actually serged into the seam of the diaper right here. There's a piece of elastic right here that was actually serged into the seam. I'm not gonna be able to get that out without affecting the actual seam of the diaper, so I just cut as close to the seam as I could get. Cut as much of the excess elastic off as possible. On this side, it doesn't look like it was serged on, so you can see I've already started removing a little bit of it. So you just again, carefully, because it's very sharp, and the seams are so teeny tiny. You just put the little pokey end under and then push, and it pretty much tears it on its own. Unfortunately, this looks like it's going to be a task. A lot of people think, well, the more you go over it, the more sturdy it is, excuse me, and that's true. The more you go over it when you sew it on, the sturdier, longer lasting it will be. However, elastic wears out at the same rate, whether it's tacked once or twice or whether it's tacked 10 times. Roman, no sir. So if you tack it on 1,000,010 times, you're only going to have to sit here with this and go over it 1,000,010 times. So this is a pretty time-consuming task. I'm not gonna make you sit here and watch this, so I'm gonna go and I will come back when I'm done.